Bro? Saturday night, you ready?
We're here.
We're here.
What's up, brother?
Nothing much, man. I'm excited. October only means one thing.
Best time of the year.
Means one thing. Saturday Fright Live coming at you. I can't say every Saturday because the next couple of Saturdays we're not going to be here. So,
Oh, whenever we can.
yeah, whenever we can. But do promise we are going to do at least at least a show a week. So if we don't make it on Saturday, we are going to try to make it the next couple of Fridays. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
If not, maybe a Sunday. I don't know. I know it's called Saturday Fright Live, but it doesn't have to be on Saturday. For at
Doesn't
least the
have to
next
be. No.
next couple of weeks, we can't. I'm not going to be available. But anyway, at least we're starting off the month right.
Of course. Why not?
And so I went ahead. Now, we usually have another one with us, Kitty. She was unable to come on tonight. So give a quick shout out to her. But anyway, what I did was I was like, oh, shit, October's about to hit. Saturday's the 1st.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one that chose Poltergeist.
Good choice.
Another classic movie that we didn't get a chance to cover the last couple of years.
Yep.
So I wanted to cover, obviously, this movie because we haven't touched it yet. Literally. And as you brought it to my attention, I already know it was on HBO Max. So I was like, all right, I'll rewatch it. Not that I haven't seen it.
I tried not to touch my TV screen, but I got.
Yeah, exactly. You don't want to. As a kid, how fucking scared were you when it was like a staticky screen?
It was creepy, dude, and I gotta admit, watching it all these years later, it's still a little creepy. It's a creepy movie.
I think the two things that scared me more, because the television actually, I don't even know why I said that. Television never really freaked me out.
It wasn't scary, but it was,
The two things that did freak me out in the film, always as a kid, and maybe even so, maybe not as an adult, but whatever. Clown.
Yes, the clown, absolutely.
The clown, which they even brought into the remake.
Yeah.
And the tree, when the tree attacks Robbie.
Tree. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't know, Dad. He's staring at me. He knows I live here. It's a fucking tree. No, but, obviously he does attack him. Listen to Jim. What's up, bro?
What's up? Listen to Jim.
There he is. Star Wars fanatic is in the house.
Hey.
And, of course, your fan.
Hey, CD. What's happening, brother?
Crayon Dude. What's up, Rob? How you doing? Everything good?
How's the Mariners?
Good? How are those Mariners doing? Joe, let me tell you something, Jim. Joe Beth was hot as hell. She was.
Yeah, she was.
She was. But here's the crazy thing, and I was going to get into it later, but let's talk about it now. There were things that as a kid I didn't pick up on, and obviously I didn't. It's not like this is the first time I watched it since I'm 4.
Yeah.
But I was just rewatching it. I was telling you earlier, James, on the phone, that there were a couple of things you didn't catch on, like especially with the daughter. I definitely knew about the hickeys beforehand, but there's a line in the movie. There's a line in the movie at the very end when the mother's talking about how they're going to go to the Holiday Inn. They're not going to stay in the house that night. And she tells the daughter, Dana, and Dana's like, oh, yeah, I know that Holiday Inn. And the mother's like, what? Diane's like, wait, what? And then she goes, oh, you're going to keep those grays in your hair. And she changes the subject. And then later on in the very end of the film, when she gets dropped off by the friends and the house is like eating itself, and she's like outside screaming, you see the hickeys all over her neck. So she was a wild one, that daughter.
She was the lady's a tramp. What are you going to say?
And then you had the construction workers like catcalling this 16-year-old girl walking to school. They're like, what? And James, what did I say on the phone? It was perfect. So the actor that played in the movie Predator in 1987 played a predator in this film as one of the construction guys. I'm pretty sure that's the same actor, right? I'm not making that up, right?
No, it's got to be. Yeah. I'm almost positive.
And then, of course, when they're not hitting on the daughter, they're drinking her coffee out of a cup and eating the tomato sauce from the pot. Poltergeist reminds me of E.T. Well, I mean, it's same guy. It's Spielberg.
Yeah. Yep. And
Spielberg produced it,
right? You said it was the same.
Yes. Yeah. They filmed it. They filmed it right around the same time, and they were 20 minutes away from each other, the locations. So Spielberg was directing that while he was producing this. And I'm going to say producing in quotations.
Yeah.
Because I was telling you earlier, James, it's been credited that he was almost like a silent director.
Yeah, he was probably helping Tobe Hooper a lot on this. I'm sure.
Kids are always creepy as hell in movies, and I'm not going to deny that.
Oh,
You know, and
definitely. Yeah.
No, Robbie had a little bit of a creepy face. Carol Ann was just like talking like, I don't know.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi, Daddy. Oh
No,
God.
but well, like I was telling you on the phone earlier, for me, back then, those type of movies, there really weren't a lot of special effects weren't huge back then,
No.
like it is now with technology now. But the special effects in this movie were really cool, man.
Well, a lot of
They
them.
really did a good job on this.
Well, with the exception of
With the
when you
ghosts
see
and
this.
everything.
Yeah, I was about to say that. With the exception of when you see the ghosts and stuff like that, a
Yeah.
lot of the other things were practical effects.
Yeah. But the ghosts,
You
they
know,
did a great job at that.
they did, and it didn't look like you said. Even rewatching it now, like it didn't look outdated.
No, it didn't look fake or anything
No.
like that. Yeah, it stayed to its true form.
Yeah. And I don't know if you ever gotten a chance to watch the remake. Did you? I didn't
I
really
did
want
watch
to.
with Sam Rockwell. Yeah,
Yeah, Sam Rock. It was all right. Yeah,
It wasn't terrible.
It wasn't a terrible as far as remakes go in this day and age. It wasn't a terrible remake, but
I believe the clown was in that one too in the remake.
yeah. So Tobe Hooper did direct, but a lot of people said,
Yeah.
because I was reading this on IMDb, a lot of people didn't respect him because they called him an alcoholic. He was always showing up drunk. So a lot of people said that Steven Spielberg, under the radar, kind of directed this film, like unofficially directed this film. So so there was that. And then we all know about the curse. I was telling you about it. A lot of the bad things that happened to the actors and actresses within this franchise, and one of them, the main one,
yeah.
And I'm not even talking about
the sister, right?
Dominique Dunn. Yeah. The sister we were just talking about.
Griffin Dunn, the actor that was in After Hours, Martin Scorsese. That's his
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she was strangled to death
I read up on that. Yeah, after you told me that. Yeah.
By her estranged boyfriend.
Yeah.
You know,
they chef at a restaurant, and
he was
very abusive towards her.
Yep.
She was on an episode of Hill Street Blues where she played an abused victim, where they said she didn't need makeup, literally, because she was getting beat up all the time by her boyfriend.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
Yeah. And like I said, what was she, like 22, 23?
Something like that, yeah.
When she passed, I believe she was born in 59.
Yeah, 59.
And she died in 82. So depending on when her birthday falls in 59, she was either 22 or 23.
She died pretty much after the movie came out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Love the little woman that says this house. Oh, you're talking about Tangina. Laugh out loud every time I see her in 16 Candles. So supposedly Tangina
Rubenstein. Yep.
In real life, she actually has said that she has like powers, like mental like not telekinesis, the other one, clairvoyance.
Okay.
She can pick up on things in real life, she said.
I believe it.
But yeah, I always laughed. I always laughed at that.
Obviously. Yeah.
What?
She makes the movie. Zelda Rubenstein. She's great.
Well, she's only in the movie for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, but she's a good part of more than 10 minutes.
No, she was only in the movie for literally 10 minutes, bro.
At the end of the movie.
Yeah. She cleans the house, which she really thinks she does. But so you didn't. Here's the crazy thing, which I'm surprised.
I didn't remember this part. Yeah, no.
I didn't. You didn't remember that they built the house on a graveyard.
Graveyard, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that was the main plot of the film.
It was a cemetery. Yeah.
But here's the other thing, I don't know if you read up on. Now remember, the neighbor's house was built on the same plot, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Every house on that plot was built on the same built on the same plot.
Nothing was happening with that.
Nothing was happening with them. Do you know why?
Why?
Because of Carol Ann.
Oh,
so Carol Ann was the only child that was born while they were there.
That makes sense.
So the spirits were supposedly connected to her power source. Not power source. I'm saying that wrong. Her life energy.
Yeah.
It was drawing power from her. So they were connected to that. She was the only one because he had said there was a line in the film where he said they had moved in 6 years, right? And she's only 5 years old. So that means she was born within.
Exactly. And they needed Carol Ann to help them cross over.
Something like that. There was something to do with her energy that they were drawn to. And it was because her life source. That it was because she was born into that. But
I'm not gonna lie, towards the end, that scene with the mother in the bed, when she's laying in the bed, And all of a sudden she starts going. I started cracking up laughing.
Well, it is funny, but it's crazy. And then you talking about like the effects.
Yeah.
How fucking like it looks seamless. How she's crawling on the wall, then she's on the ceiling. Yeah. Don't touch my babies. But and I mean,
dude, and when she goes into the swimming pool and all the skeletons are grabbing her, that was sick too.
What else did I tell you today that I found out?
They were real skeletons.
Yeah, they actually used. How sick is that? I don't know where they got it from because it doesn't really say. They actually used real skeletons for that scene.
It looked similar to the One-Eye Willie skeleton in the Goonies a little bit.
He used a real skeleton. No, I don't know. I don't know if they did that. I have no idea if One-Eye Willie was an actual skeleton, but the fact that they use real skeletons for that pool scene is crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
And they said that they attribute that and the fact that they used real skeletons that possibly why they were the whole cast or whatever this movie was cursed.
I believe that. That makes sense. Sure.
The special effects were very similar to Ghostbusters.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
100%. I felt that when the ghost was guarding the door, when the mother was trying to get in.
Yeah.
That's what I thought the same thing.
My favorite out of the ghosts was that white ghost that comes down the stairs and is coming at the mother.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was sick.
Yeah. So the ghost is referred to as the Beast in the film. And the Beast, we come to find out in the sequel, was actually Reverend Cain.
Okay.
So that's the same guy.
I got to go watch the sequel.
Yeah. That's the evil entity that is haunting Harrowland specifically. And throughout the franchise, too. You know?
What does he say? What was his line?
The Lord is in this temple, something like that?
Yeah.
It's crazy. I've only seen the second one like a handful of times, if that. I
gotta watch it now. Now that you told me it's on TV.
And then what was the chief's name in part 2? There was a chief in part 2. Doesn't matter. I don't, whatever. I have no idea. But it's funny that you said that about the Ghostbusters, Crayon Dude, because I mean, obviously this was the same generation. It was the same time. 82, Ghostbusters 84. What? The one, so in the, what was the crazy credit I read in the TV versions to kind of make it a little less gory, he just gets older instead of peeling his face off. But that was really cool. And then the other thing, what's the word? Tidbit about that scene as well. The hands that they use to pull the face apart is actually Spielberg's hands.
Oh yeah, that was sick too. That was a sick scene.
I always remember that scene. I used to love that scene. But remember the scene like where the steak is like pulsing, and then he drops the chicken. It's got maggots all over it. That was so gross. That was great.
I'm trying to see this damn cheap.
But
was it Taylor?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. I don't know.
Sure.
Guy looks like an Indian. His name is Will Sampson, so I'm assuming that's him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. What else did you watch? What else did you catch on the second watch? Not second watch, but in a recent watch.
I mean, nothing that I didn't remember besides the fact of the plot, the main plot of the movie. But.
Very Crayon Dude is another thing too that I when they pull them out, when they get pulled out from the thing, they got this like pinkish purplish goo. It reminded me of Ghostbusters. Well, Ghostbusters 2.
Ghostbusters 2, yeah. Vigo.
Yeah. What and I always look this up. Every time I watch Poltergeist, I always look it up because I always forget the explanation. But there was a scene in the movie, I don't know if you caught it. You know when she's showing Steven how the part in the kitchen, like she used Carol Ann, and then she was doing the chair?
Yeah, the chair, man. That's what.
All right. They're talking in the kitchen, and all of a sudden, inexplicably, it cuts to them talking to the neighbor.
I do.
And they're outside talking to the neighbor. They're swatting themselves. They keep getting it's funny because they want to say something, and then Steven just starts blurting out laughing. And then Diane's like, what he means to say is, and then Steven's like, Diane, hold on a second. And then he starts to say it, like they just can't get it out. They want to know if there's any disturbances or if he's seen any weird occurrences. But the reason why there's a huge gap, there's a huge jump, is because in that scene in the kitchen, apparently, I don't know if it's Steven or Diane, they say something negative about Pizza Hut. So Pizza Hut
Really?
made them cut it from the entire film.
That's crazy.
So that's why I don't know if anybody knows what I'm talking about. The scene, it literally just jumps.
Yeah.
But that was really
I
that was
wondering
crazy.
what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, another look. It was a classic film for its time. It's a film that we can go watch now and still take for what it is.
Yeah. Still enjoy it. Yeah.
Didn't lose its value. I know you guys are talking about the original movie, but the old preacher in the second one screaming, "You're all gonna die in there," scared the hell out of me. Yeah, no, there are parts, and especially the preacher, which another casualty of the Poltergeist curse, because he ended up dying of stomach cancer in real life, that actor. We just said his name. The fuck? Kane.
Yes.
Reverend Kane is probably one of the faces of evil when it comes to the franchise of Poltergeist.
Shit. I remember seeing that in the movie theaters. His face scared the shit out of me.
Yeah,
but the first one, I don't know. But how old were you when you saw the original? I know I didn't see it when it first came out. I know
no,
I was
probably not.
6. I was thinking.
I was probably because this movie was already out on VHS for me.
Right.
Came out in '82. I probably seen it earliest '83, but I think I'm with you. I think I probably saw it in '84.
Yeah. Oh, 84.
Yeah. Something like that. Definitely around the same time because
the second one came out in '86.
Yeah. So and then the second one, like these movies I didn't see in the theater. So these movies I seen when they came out on VHS. So I either see them a year or two apart from its release.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I want to talk about the franchise. We talk about Poltergeist 3, and of course, Heather O'Rourke, the actress that plays Carol Ann, actually died while filming Part 3. So at the very end, towards the end, they had to use a body double for some of her scenes because she had already passed.
That's crazy.
Yeah, and you actually thought she had Crohn's, but she was misdiagnosed.
Okay.
Yeah. She was misdiagnosed having Crohn's disease, and she ended up dying of I forgot what heart attack.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said heart failure.
Yeah, she had a congenital block, something like that.
Okay.
But that was another.
Because IMDb said she had Crohn's disease. That's where I read it.
Yeah, when you look it up, it says she was actually misdiagnosed.
Okay.
Yeah, it was said to believe she had Crohn's disease.
And that's horrible. She was only 12 years old when she died.
Yeah. No, it is. It really is. But I only wanted to really talk about the first one. I'm not a hater for the third. I don't think it's a bad film. I actually like Tom Skerritt. I like Tom Skerritt as an actor.
Yeah.
I felt the music lessened the scare element for me. It seemed like the music for a fantasy story than horror. I don't know.
I wouldn't consider it so much of a horror movie. I would consider it more like a supernatural film.
Well, no, I mean, it is what it look. I don't really, I mean, that's not true because some scores actually dictate a film for me, but I wouldn't say it took, no, I don't think it lessened it. Definitely not. I don't know. So, I mean, look, some of the music choices for the Nightmare on Elm Street films.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it lessened the scare.
No.
But I'm trying to think. Anything else I picked up? Let me see if there's anything else. I don't know. Well, I mean, we know they were smoking pot on the bed.
Yeah, they were smoking a joint in the beginning of the movie.
And they use a cigar box to store it, right? Yeah. So earlier was it earlier or later? Whenever Tweety dies, and they use this like a similar cigar box to bury him. Mm-hmm. She's like, "Oh, it smells. Can we put a flower in it? It probably smells like weed."
Yeah.
Right?
Classic movie, man.
Really it was. Movie. It was. Oh, what about when they're trying to watch the football game, and the neighbor's watching Mr. Rogers, and they're fucking. I don't know how that works. I guess maybe back then streams got crossed. I have no idea.
Yeah, wires or whatever.
Yeah, wires or whatever. And then you got the guy running. So they fuck around with him when he's riding the bike with the beer. And they use the remote control cars to trip him up. So he falls down. The beer's like fucking spraying all over the place. He's running through the house. It's fun. I thought it was funny.
That was funny.
Yeah. There was definitely some some comedic elements of this film, but most of the time it was serious, and it was scary. It was scary as a kid.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I wouldn't say it was scary now, but definitely creepy.
No. It was creepy, and then I mean, a lot of Easter eggs, as far not Easter eggs, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of Star Wars product placement in the Robbie's bedroom.
Yeah.
Everything that Robbie has in his room, I shouldn't say in his bed. I was in Robbie's bed. No, but the sheets, the toys, the Darth Vader. It was I don't know if you ever had that. So that Darth Vader thing that was behind his bed, like by his bed, his headboard, was actually a carry case for the old Star Wars figures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it would open up, and you can store all the Star Wars figures in it. I had that, and a whole bunch of other things that were in that room, but I didn't have that clown.
The one scene when that fucking clown, all of a sudden he wakes up, the clown's off the chair.
No, not even. Before he wakes up, that you hear the clown fall.
Yeah.
And if you even listen even closer, you can hear the clown dragging himself. It's fucking insane, bro. That scene scarred me as a kid.
Dude, I jumped when watching it now. When I seen him when he grabs him from behind, starts strangling him, I was like, holy shit.
Growing up, my mom always had these weird fucking dolls. And they were always on her bed, right?
Yeah.
Some of them looked fucking lifelike, some of them didn't. I remember whenever I was home alone, I had to close her door.
Yeah.
Especially at nighttime,
the
bro.
room was always dark.
Always dark, bro.
Yeah.
So one time I was so fucking scared. I went in there. I got in a lot of trouble for this, and I bashed the fucking doll's face in because I was so afraid of it. I thought it was going to attack me. It was nighttime,
I'm gonna kill it.
I got in trouble. I'll show you. I don't want you to scare or haunt me, so I'm just going to destroy you. That made no sense. I have no idea. Listener Jim has one somewhere. I mean, I wish I would have saved it, but obviously I didn't save any Star Wars toys from when I was younger. Definitely not the sheet set. Imagine I had Star Wars sheet set now.
On your bed?
Yeah. I mean, not that I'm getting any action now anyway, so what does it fucking matter, right? Right? You know what I'm talking about. All right, before we wrap up, anything else I'm trying to see? All right, we established that Joe Beth Williams, hot as fuck back then.
Craig T. Nelson, coach.
Yeah, well, no, Craig T. And that's it. Yeah, that's it. What about? I like that part when she's like, well, "What are you gonna do with Teague?" He's like, "I'm gonna tell him to go to hell." Yeah. And she's like, "Well, what if he persists? I'm gonna give him the directions." That's okay. So that's the one. That was actually my one critique in the film. And that's not something you remember or even think about when you're younger.
Yeah.
But let's think of this really quick. What does he tell her? I'm going to go to the office, right? If the kids got to knock out, let them knock out. I'm going to be home early. Right. What time does he fucking come? Bro, the kids are in bed. I mean, obviously they're pretty much moved out, right? Because there's nothing left in the house, really. But
I mean, it had to be at least 9 o'clock.
Yeah, because they're in California. That's number one. Right? He comes back in the dark, and he shows up with Teague as well. Yeah. Teague's in the car, and he's like, got that face like, I know what I did.
He didn't come home early. That's for sure.
No, he definitely didn't come home. He made it seem like he was going to do a half a day. Don't worry. Yeah, if the kids got to knock out, she's putting them to fucking bed. They're in their pajamas. So that's the only thing that didn't make sense, that he shows up so late at night. I mean, maybe there was a deleted scene to show what him and Teague were doing to maybe better explain that. But, that's what I wanted to say.
What?
So when he's interviewing Dr. Lesh, or when he goes to Dr. Lesh for her help, she asks the ages of everybody at the house. And Diane's 32. And Dana is actually 16. So everybody speculates like, oh, well, Diane was 16 when she had Dana. Yeah. But in the novelization of this movie, Dana is actually not Diane's real daughter.
Oh, she's not?
No.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if they kept that true for the movie, but in the book or in the novelization of the film, Dana is, Steven's first wife's daughter.
Okay.
So
All right.
that is why they what do you call it? They're only 16 years apart.
It's funny because when I started put the movie on the other night, I started watching. My mom said something crazy to me too. She's like, "That's not her son. That Robbie's not that he's
No, no, no.
yeah,
She was almost right.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
not Dana's not her daughter.
James not right. Yeah,
Yeah. But
because the reason why she said that was in the beginning because the kid's scared, so the father goes in the bed with him.
yeah.
So she's like, what kid doesn't have the mother go into the bedroom and not the father?
Wait,
And
is this a porn? What are we talking about?
when the kid's
The kid
scared or
doesn't sleep
whatever.
with his mom. What are you talking about? No, I understand what you're saying. No, when I was younger though, when your kid is scared, he's gonna go to the dad.
Yeah.
It's a different story. I went to my mom with all of the problems, for all of the problems. But if you're scared, the dad's probably generally going to come in because you're the one, he's going to be the one that you feel more protected
So
by.
when she says, she's like, that's not her. I said, yes, it is. You just called the mom.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, but,
Yeah,
and
even if it was
also,
a stepmother, he would say mom too.
yeah, exactly. And in all fairness, Diane was high as fuck as well. So she probably couldn't have came up and helped helped Robbie to the bed. You know what I mean? So what's up with that dog, huh? Dog just like barking at that hole. That's the only thing I didn't understand. Why they needed to
I didn't know. I didn't understand why when they sent the kid to the grandmother's, the dog was allowed to go in the cab with the kid. I would have never thought that.
Yeah. I love that scene though, because Robbie's like looking at the mother like he's being sent off to boarding school.
Yeah.
And then he obviously waits for the dog. The dog jumps in.
Yeah.
Call me, Robbie.
Yeah.
Robbie, what would have been, would have been funny if like you see the door to the taxi close, the window rolls down slowly, and all you see is a finger getting stuck out. He's like, fuck you, Ma. Dana was never home because you know what she was doing? She was out fucking.
She was getting plowed at the Holiday Inn.
Jesus Christ. How do we not pick this up when we were 5? All right, that's it. That's all. That's all. We're gonna take too much of everybody's time. But yeah, I think we can all agree for the most part, especially people of our generation, that were old enough to watch it back then. Yeah. And I think even now, honestly, I think if you were to watch it for the first time now, I think wouldn't feel too dated. I think the special effects definitely stand to this day. I mean, obviously, look, anything from 40 years ago is going to be a little bit less, what's the word?
Enjoyable.
No. Just the technology was a little was inferior back then.
Yeah.
So they were limited with their capabilities. But again, I don't think it's a dated movie at all.
No, it still holds up. Definitely.
Yeah. And all right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna tell everybody to go. No, I'm gonna ask you guys, because me and James and Kitty, when she is able to come on with us, we're gonna do something either next weekend or someday during the week, right? Because the next 2 Saturdays I'm not going to be available. So what I wanted everybody to do,
what we do Friday, right?
Yeah, something like that. Or Thursday, whatever. I don't know. I have no idea Kitty's schedule yet, but the point is, I wanted to get you, the listeners, involved, whether you're in the chat now or whether you're watching this later. Give us a comment. Give us some ideas for our next show. I do ask, though, if you can, because there's only about 9 films now, including this one on my channel from Saturday Fright Live. Go back and see the ones that we've done already. So you don't have us.
You don't pick a movie that we already.
Yeah, so you don't recommend a double. We've hit pretty much the classics. We did Friday the 13th.
We did Halloween.
Nightmare on Elm Street, Scream, Exorcist, Child's Play.
Yep.
So we're definitely up for ideas. What's the other word though I was thinking of? Ideas. I guess we'll just leave it as ideas. Recommendations. That's it.
Yes.
Definitely up for some recommendations, but if not, we'll pick between the 3 of us. But I do want to thank listener Jim, Crayon Dude, Star Wars Fanatic, and I thought there was somebody else in there. I think that's it. For commenting, and we'll see you guys next week. You know, we haven't picked a movie yet. There he is. There we go. Yo, Joe. Just in time. Yeah. So Poltergeist, have you seen it? What'd you think of it? I think it's a classic. Definitely a movie. I mean, a movie of our childhood. And I think it stands the test of time. I think it's still an enjoyable watch. James, I want to thank you for coming on with me. I appreciate it. I almost said thank you for coming on me, which would have been weird. That would have been an entirely different Saturday night show. No, don't worry about it. I appreciate you even stopping in to say hello, but we're actually about to end the stream. I will see everybody next week. And guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. Good night, James.
Good night, Joe.